step is you're going to multiply the top and bottom of your fraction by the conjugate of the denominator. You don't have to reorder anything, just keep the same order that they're in. So I have a 7 and a root 3. 7 and a root 3. The conjugate is the opposite term, or the opposite sign between, so a plus. And the whole reason for doing that is when you multiply across the top, just leave it as factors. Okay? You don't need to distribute that through. And then when you multiply along the bottom, it fits that sum and difference of terms that expands into the difference of two squares. So when you FOIL this, you get 7 times 7, which is 49. Your outer and inner products, you have a 7 root 3 and a minus 7 root 3. They're always going to be exact opposites, and they'll cancel out. So it's just going to be the first term squared minus the second term squared. So what is root 3 squared? Root 3 times root 3 is just 3. So you're going to wind up with 49 minus 3 in the denominator. When you simplify what that gives you, you get 46. And then you would look to see, can you simplify your fraction any further? Does 3 go into 46? No. And so this is your answer. When you enter it, again with your fraction form, if you have just a single term in your denominator, you're fine. If you have multiple terms or multiple factors in the denominator, then you need grouping symbols around it. We look at this second example here. We recognize we have a double term denominator with a radical. We need to rationalize to get that radical out, so we're going to multiply the top and bottom by the conjugate of the denominator. So it's going to be the same two terms, 2 and root 10, opposite sign between, minus. So in the numerator we get negative 12 times 2 minus root 10. In the denominator we square our first term, and again, if you want to physically FOIL those out, you can, but you're squaring the first term. 2 squared is 4. Always a minus. The second term squared, root 10 squared is 10. Okay, and so you're looking at this form. When you simplify what you have, negative 12 times 2 minus root 10, all over negative 6. Okay, the reason we leave this as a factor is we can now cancel. The negatives cancel. 6 goes into 12, 2. And so you get your answer, 2 times 2 minus root 10, and that would be your solution. Now, in each of these cases, if you distribute through, so if you wrote in the numerator here, if you wrote 21 plus 3 root 3, so if you had 21 plus 3 root 3 divided by 46, or here if you had 4 minus 2 root 10, those are acceptable ways to enter your answer.